If you're looking to secure a pair of the SB Dunk Low Orange Lobsters, that is exactly what I'm going to show you how to do in today's video. There's a ton of different dates and release methods for this shoe, and we're going to be covering all of them in today's video. And I'm also going to be going over a potential secret launch of this shoe that I don't think a lot of people know about. I'll be live streaming the main release of this shoe, which should be going down on December 2nd. So make sure you guys sub to the channel, make sure you drop a like, and make sure you pull up to the live stream because I'm going to be giving a ton of good tips and tricks on that too. On that note, let's get into the video. We're going to start off with some quick facts about this sneaker. The Orange Lobster is going to be the 6th colorway in the Concepts SB Lobster collection. The 3 originals were the Red Lobsters, the Blue Lobsters, and the Yellow Lobsters, and then in 2018 we saw them drop the Green Lobsters and the Purple Lobsters. The retail price is coming in at $130, and if we take a look at current resale, we can see that these are fetching anywhere from $550 to $700 a pair. Aside from the normal release, it does look like we might be getting a special box edition of this shoe too, and although there's not a ton of information about this just yet, you definitely want to be keeping your eyes peeled. There's going to be 3 and maybe 4 main release methods for this sneaker, and we're going to be starting a little bit backwards here in terms of release date, and the first release method we're going to be talking about is going to be from skate shops. This is actually a very popular method for copying SBs, and if you have a local skate shop in your area, and if you follow them on Instagram and sort of learn their release methods, you can have a very good chance at actually being able to win a pair of these shoes. By far, the easiest way to be able to find skate shops releasing these around you is to come to nikesb.com/shops, and you're just going to want to look in your state and see which skate shops are around you. And if you live in Cali, you guys have an absolute ton. I live in Florida, we don't really have a ton, and New York also has a decent amount too. So Cali or New York, you're going to have a pretty decent shot because there's so many shops. But if you live in another region where there's not any by you, you're not going to have as good of a chance, obviously, at finding a skate shop near you. So once you find a skate shop in your area, the first thing you want to do is just give them a call and see if they're going to be receiving the SB Lobsters. I would also highly recommend following them on Instagram because a lot of these shops just like to post on their Instagram whenever they drop the shoes, and some will do a raffle, some will do first come, first serve. And I used to live in Orlando, and there was always this one shop where they would literally just post, they're like, shoes are ready for sale, first come, first serve, whoever gets here first gets a pair. And a lot of these shops do a very similar method. I feel like a lot of shops will probably end up raffling these off, but if they do a first come, first serve post, you most definitely want to have on post notifications, because if they just say, hey guys, shoes are available, come in, first come, first serve, you want to be on that, you want to be quick, and it'll be very good money if you're able to hit a pair. So the first method of release is going to be skate shops. Call up ones around you, see if they're getting the shoes in, follow them on Instagram, see what they're posting for their release method, and follow up on that on the release date. It looks like all skate shops will be releasing this sneaker on December 20th, which is why I said we're working a little bit backwards, since the main online release from Concepts and Sneakers is going to be a little bit earlier into the month, and we're about to get into those right now. The second release method for this sneaker is going to be at all Concepts retail locations, and it also looks like they're going to be having a drop on their online site. Within the US, Concepts only has 2 locations, and I heard they're opening up a 3rd very soon, but the 2 locations are on screen now. They're going to be Concepts Boston, and there's also going to be Concepts New York. Once again, I would highly recommend following Concepts on Instagram because they're more than likely going to be making a post about this release method in store, and a lot of the times they end up doing a raffle, but it's definitely possible that they switch it up for this release. So they're going to be dropping them at Concepts locations in store, and the next we're going to be talking about is going to be their online release on their website, concepts.com. The exact release method of this drop is unknown, but I have a very high feeling that they're going to do something called a domain change release. If you've been around the game for a little bit, you more than likely know what this is, and they did something very similar on the last Ama Manier 4 release, and basically the drop will go as follows. About 30 minutes before drop time, which is stated to be at 11 a.m. Eastern, they're going to do something called putting up a password page. This means that nobody can access their site, and they're typically changing things around while this is happening. Then what's going to happen is at 11 a.m. Eastern, and sometimes it can be a little bit before or a little bit after, they're going to automatically drop this password page. So you're going to sit there refreshing, and then once they decide to drop the password page, you're more than likely going to see a big picture of the shoe on their website. It could say something like purchase or buy now or shop now, and obviously you're going to want to click on that as fast as you possibly can. And then if it is a true domain change release, clicking on that shop now, buy now, or the picture of the shoe is going to take you to an entirely different website where you should be able to add the shoe to cart and be able to check out. So that's called a domain change release, and I'm sure there's a ton of other videos you can look up on an exact demonstration of how that goes. And what's going to happen is this password page that we're looking at right now is going to come down automatically. We're not going to have to type in a password or anything like that. And that really never happens on these password drops. When it does, we're expecting there to be a picture of the shoe just somewhere on screen here. Basically, when that happens, we're going to click on it, and then that's going to take us to a new domain. Let's see here. Oh, look. Buy now. I'm gonna wait a second. Here we go. There's the product. The next release method of this sneaker is going to be via a sneakers pass. And from their original email, it looks like this might just be for around their concepts locations in Boston and New York. And I more than likely think that's probably what they're going to end up doing. As far as I can tell, it doesn't look like there's any official news of a drop on the sneakers app itself. So it's going to be interesting to see if they load up. I personally feel like they will do a drop on the sneakers app alongside the sneakers pass, but we're going to have to wait and see. And typically if they decide to do this, the shoe will load up a couple days before. The exact time and date of the sneakers pass is not yet fully known, but according to their website, it looks like it can happen anytime from December 2nd to the 4th. So we have a release from Skate Shops happening on December 20th. We have a release on the Concepts website on December 2nd at 11 a.m. Eastern. We also should be seeing an in-store release at Concepts locations too. We have a sneakers pass happening anytime from December 2nd to the 4th, and then we might also see an official drop on the sneakers app too. Everything just mentioned is going to be the main ways to get your hands on a pair of these SB Lobsters, but now I'm going to talk about the secret launch, which like I said, I don't think a lot of people know about. First things first, what I'm about to go over, there is no confirmation whatsoever. This is all 100% speculation on my end. I am not recommending anyone to go and do this because it is a risk. It is absolutely a risk to go and do this. I'm personally doing it because I have a hunch that they might release this way and because it makes a lot of sense to me why they would, but there's a very good chance that they don't and I end up losing money on this. So that's my disclaimer. Guys, please do your own research on this. This is 100% speculation on my end. I feel like it makes a lot of sense for them to do it this way, which is why I'm even mentioning it in this video. Bottom line, please, please, please do your own research. So on screen now is what I think can be a potential release method of these Lobster SBs, and it's through Concepts NFT called the Proof of Concepts. About a month ago, Concepts did a test release for their NFT holders, and it was a restock of a very old SB called the Holy Grails. To summarize what happened, basically, if you owned one of these NFTs, you had access to the drop to be able to go for these Holy Grails. And although stock ended up being very, very limited, there was people that were able to hit on this sneaker, which is a very old and a very expensive shoe. Concepts has their own Discord server where you can join, and I'll be leaving a link to it down in the description below. But if we read this message real quick, which is on October 5th, there hasn't really been a ton of updates since then, and everyone's like, what's good? Like, what's going on? Is there going to be a release? And once again, guys, it is all speculation. Nobody really knows. But if we take a look at this message from October 5th, it says, first and foremost, we want to thank everyone for our initial test drop on our token gated site, which was for the Holy Grails. As previously mentioned, while the drop did not live up to our expectations, we are grateful for the findings we had from it. Now we're working with the third-party developers who assisted us in our first drop to help us not only make our next release a success, but to help move all Web 3.0 forward. With that being said, we are currently working on our next test drop. And once again, guys, these drops are only available to people who own this NFT. They did say we don't want to leave our holders waiting, so we have a Vans collaboration. Everyone was like, what? But yeah, I really don't have any idea what they're going to end up doing. I have the NFT, so I'm in the members only channel. And everyone was kind of freaking out the other day because on that newsletter they sent out, there was no mention of the NFT whatsoever. But in my opinion, it would make a lot of sense for them to release via this way, because not only would this give all these NFT holders a hopefully guaranteed chance to get their hands on a pair of Lobsters. If we take a look down here, we can see the creator fee, which means what Concepts gets every single time one of these NFTs is sold is 10%. So if they announce that they're going to be releasing from the NFT, the price will most likely rise, and then there will be a ton being sold. And basically, they're going to make so much money if they do it this way. So that's why it makes sense to me. But guys, once again, this is all 100% speculation. In no way am I recommending anyone watching this video to go for this. It's just something that I figured I would mention because, like I said, it makes a lot of sense to me. Once again, I will be live streaming this release on December 2nd for the online drop at 11 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys pull up to that. I hope everyone enjoyed today's video. I hope this video helped. And I wish everyone the absolute best of luck at being able to cop a pair of the SB Dunk Low Orange Lobsters.